Okay, the purpose of this video is to make sure that communication gets out there to everyone and to keep everyone on the same page so you know what's going on. So this isn't to bore you, although it might be boring to some of you, but it's also really important that you're in the know and you know what's going on. So to make sure that everyone sees this, there's going to be a question in here that I'm going to ask you to answer in the comments section of Slack so that I know you saw the video. So watch out for that question so you can answer it, and then I know you saw it. How are you doing on your goals for this year? Remember, we had you write those down. How's it going on those? You might want to revisit that list and see where you're at. Coming up, there's a 5K run, and some of you are running in that, and that was part of the goals that you set up. There's a class on November 4th, toning and glossing at the promenade. Some of you had as your goal to work on some education. So this is sort of a check-in with that. This is something we're going to do on a weekly basis and update everyone on where the business goals are, where your goals are, and have a conversation about that so that you have the best ever 2025 and that we as a company and as a culture have the best ever 2025. So review of accomplishments and victories over the last 6 weeks and talk about some areas that we need to work on as a group. So first off, this has been a great week. It started off with several of you. It was Sarah, Hannah, and Sam at the shelter this week, taking care of those women there. Thank you so much for what you did there. You did an extraordinary job taking care of those people. Then we had, on the same day, we had David, Yelly, Raylyn, and Aaliyah was at the Lorenzo Walker Votek doing a class for the 30 or so students there. They did an extraordinary job. Thank you all for that. That was awesome. You really showed them how it's done the ROP way, and it was a great environment, great atmosphere. You guys you killed it, did a super job. And then while that was going on, there was also a class going on at the promenade, which is normal too. Okay, as for the month of September in Victories, as we look back on September, one of the things we recognized was obviously that we needed new products, needed products to have, and we have them now, and we're continuing to grow our line with better products, and that is showing up in our results for the first month in many, many months, maybe even years. We clearly had a breakthrough in that area. For the month of September, overall, we had an average of $10.20 retail per guest. Village led the pack with $12.80 retail per guest. Promenade at $10.80. At Bayfront at $7.7 for retail per guest. So it was an extraordinary month, a victory in that regard. So we put our emphasis on just sharing with every guest what we use and why we use it. And it made a difference. And that's all it was. It's literally just introducing everything to every guest. And it's made a huge difference. So thank you. Well done. And then same with pre-book. 71% overall, which was a big jump from the other one. It was a really big difference in the pre-book, and in an odd month it went up. And I don't know if that's because you were threatening them with, hey, I'm going to be really busy real soon. And it was 65% at the Village, 79% at the Promenade, and 70% at Bayfront, which was an increase at all locations. And if you just took that month alone, the difference between 60% and 80% is 75 phone calls. So it's a big difference. Over the course of a year, that's more than 1,000 phone calls, the difference between 60% and 80% in just that month. So really big deal with that. Makes a huge difference. So when we have those conversations inside the 6 steps, it makes a big difference. Now, the pitfall or the failure of September. September was one of the worst months we've had. It usually is not a great month out of the whole year, but compared to the prior year, it was the first month we've had since COVID where we were down about 10%. That hasn't happened in a long time. And if you look, we had the fewest number of referrals. We had the lowest number of new guests that we've had in any month. And all that is asking and inviting people to please share their experience with other people. So it's literally no different than, part of the 6 steps. Hey, if you love your hair, will you please tell your friends about us? It's no different than when you watch a video and they say at the end of the video, hey, if you like this video, will you please like and subscribe and, share the video? We're doing the exact same thing, and we have to do that. We have to be proactive. We can't just rely on this wave like we have over the past, just hope, this continual flow of guests that come in, because we're in this market that a lot of people are moving here. So we've got to be proactive about it and not rely on just whatever's out there about it. So that means having a conversation with every single guest as a part of the 6 steps. Hey, if you love your hair, will you please do me a favor? Please tell your friends about me. Here's a couple cards. Whether you've been doing hair 30 years or 1 year. It doesn't matter. It's still something that we need to keep as a part of our conversation with everyone. The expectation is that you have 2 referrals a week. That's for everyone. So that's 8 referred guests per month, not just new salon guests who just go to you because you were the most open, but referred guests, people who are asking for you. And how that happens is you are inviting and asking and passing out your cards to people while they're in your chair and while they're super happy and love their experience with you. So one of the areas that we have to work on, obviously October is started out the way that it did, where we lost a week, but everyone's done a really great job over that and picking up whatever we lost during the Milton days. 71% of the stylists in the company had a 70% or better pre-book rate. Most of you had an extraordinary month with pre-booking. Only 7% of you had more than 7 referrals for the month, 7%. So there's really like 2 or 3 out of all of you. So that's where we, that hurt our results for September. And the reason why we're doing this, and we'll be doing this every single week, is we're going to take a look at what you did last year for the same week and have a projected target. So for us to have the best year ever as a salon and as a business, each of you has to have your best results as a stylist. So you have to be on your game 100% for us to have that happen. We have to do it week by week and look at the results every week. So you'll see something posted that has what you did last year or what your expectation is for this year. So it's something you've already done, and then an increase, because you should be growing the same way. So we'll have that information that'll be tracked. We'll be looking at that, the number of guests, retail per guest, all the things that we measure anyway, but the actual number of guests for each week. 77%, 23 out of 30 had an effective pre-book rate. Awesome. Congratulations. That's fantastic. You'll see who you are. Retail per guest, just 10 out of 31 met or exceeded the retail per guest target. 32% of you hit the target. 68% did not. So that's something to look at. Like, did we take our, I'd be curious to see on a day-by-day basis how many brought the product to the front desk. What it's going to take for everybody this coming year, and I don't want to narrow this down to each specific area. So if you're an associate, are you in your role? It's not just the stylist role. In your role, are you bringing products? Are you sharing about everything that you're using at the shampoo bowl? You got a lot of new exciting products. Are you sharing with every single guest? Are you bringing those products to the front desk? More importantly, are you doing the work in between classes? If you're expected to be at a class and you have an assignment to do, are you doing all the work so that you're moving through the program as a stylist, meeting your goals in terms of what the expectation is with the 6 steps? You might get tired of hearing about it, but ultimately it's the formula that's going to have everything work. It's just sharing with people what we do and why we do it. For the week, Bayfront had 78% pre-book. Village had 67%, and Promenade was the victor at 82%. Retail per guest, $8 overall, $8 at Bayfront, $7.80 at the Village, and $8.60 at the Promenade. Those are the updates for the week. We'll have more updates every single week on here and share the victors and victories. Now, there's something new that we're going to be doing, and it's going up on the website in the next week. It's also going to go out with the newsletter, and Lexi's going to talk a little bit about it, but it's an additional service or services that you can talk about for people. We have a lot of downtime in the salons where we don't utilize the salons fully. So we're going to be offering some packages for people that they can actually use the whole salon. We can get a group, whether it's a wedding or a party or whatever it is, into the salons on that. So Lexi's going to talk about that now.
So I also wanted to just add on to that segment very briefly. I was so impressed yesterday. Sam was at the Village, and we had a guest that's come here for like 15 to 20 years. She has never bought our products. She happened to do the shampoo for Allie and ended up telling her about our shampoo and conditioner, the new one. And guess what? She bought it. And I was just so mind blown, because I know it's easy. If somebody's come here this long, you're like, oh, they haven't ever bought anything. They don't want it. Well, right there, it just was proof that if you just talking about it creates conversation, and it's so amazing to see results happening from that. So you rock, Sam. That was awesome. A group of us from a couple years ago, I don't know if you remember, we happened to have somebody that wanted to rent out the salon, and we went above and beyond. It was New Year's Eve for a wedding, and everybody there did such an incredible job, and it was fun, and we catered it, and we just delivered incredible service. And why we have plenty of Saturdays, plenty of Sundays where we don't have a lot of business coming in. We are going to now be offering packages for that. Like, so if somebody goes online to search for a hair and wedding package in Naples, Florida, we'll have different layers of different packages, like super, super exclusive where they can rent out the whole salon. They'll have a dedicated wedding coordinator, which is somebody like me or somebody, and we can have a team helping us, and it's so much fun. I really, really enjoyed doing it last time, so it'll be fun to have. And we live in the town where there's people that want that. They're looking for things where they don't have to think about it all the time. And another new thing that's kind of exciting about that is also one of the packages, like for a bachelorette party, because some people come here for their bachelorette parties where they can, it's literally like an event. We have the means to create that experience. And so now we are just going to be offering it. You know, it's right there in words. So like the bachelorette party, it will include, they rent out the salon, you know, everybody gets their hair done. I find a makeup artist. We have little bachelorette games. And we'll also have one that's like birthday parties. And really that could be for somebody young or somebody older. It doesn't matter. People are always looking for something to do that's different, and this will be different. And we have the means to do it, you know, mimosas, or you can cater food and just really tailor it to every guest need. So if you see or hear about that, you can also tell your guests about that because it's going to be exciting. So, yeah.
All right, here's the question. You ready? What is your favorite ROP product? Put that down in the comments.
Hey everyone, it's Sam from the Promenade location. We have awesome news to announce that we've been looking into extension classes, and after looking at many different brands, we've come across Dreamcatchers. It's a 2-day class with I-tips, K-tips, wefts, and tape-ins. One day it'll be 2, and then the other day it'll be the other 2. If we get more than 11 to 15 of our stylists, we'll be able to get 2 educators to fly into one of our locations to teach the classes. We will have personalized kits with everything, including hair, tools, and extra goodies to practice and perfect our extensions. This is so unique that you would be able to learn all 4 types. So you're able to pick what to specialize in, and you're able to customize heads. It gives you such a great add-on service, especially going into season, and it's great to practice this and be able to perfect it. It's an easy add-on, just like a Brazilian. You can be doing a row of hair extensions and your services. Extension companies are charging thousands of dollars for the education that this company is providing us. They'll give us all the tools provided to learn all of this and more. The kit is only costing each stylist $150. So you're going to get your own kit with all the tools included. So when we get 11 of our stylists, the cost is $350. When we get 15, we get 2 educators, and they knock it down to their online educational price. So that would save us another $100. So with that, Rob will also do a half scholarship with us. So he'll pay half of the tuition for the class. So that would only make it $150 for each of our stylists to get their own personal kits for a 2-day class. So you're learning 4 methods for $150 with your own personal take-home kit. We want to plan a date sooner than later, so I'm looking for a head count on how many people would be interested in taking the class. It is going to cost $150 for a 2-day class on Sunday and Monday. I will be coming to each of the locations. I have off Tuesday and Wednesday, so I will be coming to Bayfront and the Village, and I'll even check in with everyone at the Bonita location to see who's interested. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me.